Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let Them Play. I'm your host, Tony Fiorino, and it is Sunday, February 13th. Well, I don't know about you, but I had a lot going on this week, and there are a few things that I want to address before we get right into this week's topic. We're going to start this week by wishing very good luck to my little girl Dominique and the rest of the Solmer Stingrays, who are playing in an indoor tournament up in Milton, New York, somewhere up in God's country. It's a great bunch of little 10-year-old girls, and they're very talented. And I believe, as of right now, they're winning their first game 1-0. My beautiful wife may call or text in with an update where we'll go to TJ on the Sports Flash. By the way, this week we are going to be talking about kids and parents who are faced with the decision about whether or not to play up. Now, if you're not familiar with this play up concept, this is when a kid excels in his or her own age group, and therefore they're considered to play with older kids and to face tougher competition. Now, this is a challenge that has plagued parents, coaches, and administrators alike for decades. And I want to know what you think. So, as always, I'll be taking your calls at 914-693-5700. So if you have opinions about kids playing up, you can call the studio. You can start calling right now, and we're going to get to your calls in just a minute. But like I said, there are a few housekeeping items that I want to take care of first. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Tom Walter, who has to be, I know it's only February, but this guy has to be the 2011 Let Them Play Coach of the Year. If you don't know who Coach Walter is, get this. Wake Forest outfielder and New York Yankees prospect Kevin Jordan has long suffered from kidney disease and kidney failure, and very recently was put in a situation where he absolutely needed a kidney to continue living a normal life. Nobody in his family was a suitable donor. So what do? Go on a list and hope for the best? Well, for most people, that is the only option, but not if you play for Coach Walter. Get this. This guy gets tested and finds out that he is a perfect donor match for Jordan. He doesn't think twice. He allows doctors to cut him open and take his kidney and give it to his center fielder, Kevin Jordan. Can you believe that? Now, I like to believe that I am a really good coach who cares about his kids, but I got to tell you, I don't know if I would have done the same thing. You know what? And I don't even know a lot of coaches who would either. A lot of us might say we would, but man, can you imagine being faced with something like that? Well, hats off to Coach Tom Walter from Wake Forest. You are one special person, and I know the Jordan family is forever grateful to you for your amazing kindness. So take a bow, Coach. By the way, don't think that I've forgotten about your calls. I definitely want to talk to you about kids playing up, so if you're on hold, be patient. I will get to you in a second, and please keep those calls coming in at 914-693-5700. We will be talking about playing up. Now, as you know, what a great story, right? Coach gives his kidney. Great story. Well, as you know from experience, the youth sports gods very rarely smile on Coach Tony, and this week is no different. As great as this story was, I can barely get a moment of peace and serenity from this story when I catch news of another youth sports story, except this one turns my warming heart into outright heartburn. Anybody remember the name Thomas Junta? Well, if you don't, you'll know him better as the world-infamous hockey dad from Massachusetts. Remember? This is the guy who didn't like what was going on at his son's hockey scrimmage, so he took another dad outside and literally beat him to death. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, now some of you are going, oh, now I remember who Junta is. Yeah, well, this week, Shelley Murphy from the Boston Globe reported that there was a new development in this story. And get this, Quinlan Junta was just 10 years old when he watched his father murder another man at the hockey rink. His father, in turn, served more than 8 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter. Well, this past week, just 6 months after his father was released from prison, well, you can kiss the family reunion goodbye because another run-in with the law took place. Now, I know what most of you are thinking. How could this idiot get into more trouble after serving 8 years for manslaughter? Well, he didn't. He didn't. It was his son, Quinlan, who is now 21 years old. Quinlan was charged with a violent home invasion and is being currently held without bail. Turns out that Junta and a friend by the name of Jason Mole, a 20-year-old from Stoneham, Massachusetts, who, shocker, is another hockey player, are accused of forcing their way at gunpoint into an apartment last Monday afternoon. Police and prosecutors say that the two kids, they're adults, but they beat up a kid. They beat up a 19-year-old who lived there with his mother and robbed him of $800. This is being treated by officials as a, quote, violent, targeted, non-random act because it's a fact that Junta and the victim, whose identity has not been disclosed, know each other. These two idiots, by the way, had the audacity to plead not guilty to the charges and are scheduled to return to court this week for a hearing. Now, if anybody wants to chime in on either of these two stories, by all means, you can feel free to call the studio lines at 914-693-5700. And again, please don't think I forgot about you guys on the lines. We're going to get to playing up in just a minute. Studio lines are open at 914-693-5700. You know what? Before we get to your calls, we're going to have to go to a quick break. So if you're on the hold, please just stick around. And folks, listen, I've been telling you all winter to go to Catamount Family Ski Resort in Hillsdale, New York. My family goes there all the time because the mountain is just so close. It is literally, on a good day, it's just over an hour from Westchester County, and the skiing is terrific. They got a ton of trails. They keep everybody in the family interested, from the Bunny Hill animals up to the double blacks. The staff is professional and courteous, and the restaurant serves terrific food when you come inside to warm up. So go to www.catamountski.com for more information, and when you go there, find Rich Edwards, and you tell him that Coach Tony sent you. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.